And that's why if you follow those first 2 points, this last point is what really gets you started and starts to game change everything. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the underground bunker, or the glorified Bunnings car park. I'm going to run over a system or an idea that you guys can implement in your business to guarantee you make some more cash. This isn't some bullshit thing that people say and then it doesn't work. I promise you, if you do these 3 things I'm about to tell you, if you're a sparkie, a chippy, a plumber, a mechanic, you cut trees, you cut lawn, whatever it is, it will, if you implement it correctly, pay dividends in the future. This is an investment. Remember, this isn't a get rich quick bullshit. This is an investment in your brand. So let's begin the explanation of this sawdust idea. Now, the premise of this sawdust idea goes as follows. You need to make money off the thing you're already doing without doing more of the thing you're already doing. Let me explain. So for most people who want to transition from either going from just the realities of the business world in the real world, example, let's say a sparkie. We'll use this as an example. Very easy, very straightforward one to use. You're already doing the job. Let's say you work for someone. This is great. Let's say you thinking about starting your own thing. That works good too. But what you need to understand is this. If you're already doing the thing, now you need to document it to build up credibility, experience, and actually recording it, editing it, this, that, the other, and then probably the most important, notoriety. So you can explain to people you know exactly what you're doing, because it's a crazy world out there and a lot of people are talking shit, and either they can do it, can't do it, or they're just guessing most of the time. So point 1, take me for an example. Check the history on my YouTube. You see me now. I didn't know where to start. There's no one telling you how to do any of this stuff. It's all a bunch of scammers saying do this, do that, do the other, da, 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 da. This is what you need to do, yeah? Straight up. You need to start recording your stuff. Now, you're thinking everyone's doing that. No, 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 I don't mean like that. I mean really like a professional. Your videos are gonna suck, straight up. They're gonna suck the first few you make. This is normal. Imagine the most basic analogy. You go to the gym for the first time, you suck at benching, you can do the bar, that's it. But then eventually you practice, you go back enough, blah, 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 then you can do a lot more weight. Same principle. So you just need to start. Now, there are obviously many ideas of what route you're going to take. Are you going to go more an educational side or more of a entertainment side? Are you going to blend both? That's another topic for another day, but you just need to start recording what you're doing. Why? Because then you can add that to your brand, and when you add that to your brand, people can use that as a reference for, are you any good at what you're doing? I'll give you an example. I had a bloke message me the other day, and you guys see on my channel I do a lot of breaks, and some people don't care. Yep, come around, do it, this, that, the other. Some people are very pedantic. This guy was very pedantic, and that's not a negative thing. He cares about his car, that's cool, but he wanted someone to work on it who had experience. So he messages me and he says, hey Andrew, have you worked on Tritons before? Obviously I've worked on a billion, but he didn't know that, and you can check the channel. So what did I do? I thought, what better way to explain it to him than send him a video on YouTube of me doing it? So what did I do? Copy, paste, send it to him. What did he reply? When can you come out? Name your price, gentlemen, at this point, because he will pay whatever, because it's not the cost, but the value you get from the cost, which I'll break down later if anyone likes this video. But the point is still as follows. You can have 200 reviews, you can have this, that, the other, but if you, in my experience, send someone actual evidence of you doing the thing and proving you are who you say you are, that pays dividends massively, because you didn't get paid to upload the video yet, but you got to understand that it's an investment in the brand. It takes time. Enjoy the process. The last point on recording the video is this. Now, shockingly, eventually when you get monetized on YouTube, you can actually make some money. Again, the main point is to build the brand, but hey, look, we'll take $100 extra a month through ad revenue. I'm going to be transparent with you guys and show you this. This is what I got paid last month, and you see my subscribers. Go check right now my subscribers and my views. It ain't that much, gentlemen. You can do the same thing. I started without knowing anything, and I just thought the same thing you guys thought is, how are all these other people who are ironically, you think you're smarter than them, but they're making the money. But how are all these other people doing it? And they're not working nowhere near as hard as me. Oh wait, there's something I'm missing. And to be clear, we can break it down more. And the last point I'm going to make is exactly how you can use this money to your advantage. But a quick tip would be, hey, take that, reinvest into some lighting, into a good mic. And not only will it up the quality of your video, it will also up the followers and people's viewing pleasure. Number 2, sticking with the Sparky example, because I'm using my mate as an example, who I told this to. He implemented it about 6 months ago, and now he is stoked. So this is what you do. You do the job that you want to do and advertise it. Why? Because who cares if you don't get any work that week because you're already fully employed? This is a side hustle idea now of using your skill to now supplement your income and perhaps make a decent little bit of coin on the side. Easy example, every Sparky listening to this knows. I have a couple other things to go with this, but imagine this. You're just going to exchange a split system at someone's house on the weekend. Let's say they even provide the air conditioner. How much are you going to charge? I know it costs $700, $600. Maybe you could do it for $500 cashy, this, that, the other. Let's run some numbers, gentlemen. Remember, you're only doing this one time a week on a weekend. How many weekends are there in a year? 52. Now remember, 52 weekends in a year. Let's be conservative. You do one job, split system, takes you 2-3 hours tops if it's just an exchange. If it's on ground level too, even quicker. Let's crunch some numbers. 52 weeks in a year times $500. Oh wow, we've just made 26 grand. Do you understand the difference which you can bring in on the side? And there's plenty of work, especially if you're good. And that comes back to the branding side of things, which is you record your jobs, you take a lot of before and afters, this, that, the other, and you stick to it, because doing the online YouTube thing is a full-time gig, man. But if you're keen, you can get ahead very quickly this way. You're not going to hear this information anywhere else. And this ain't me tooting my own horn. This is me telling you, I looked. People don't talk about this stuff. How much can you pay off your house with that? How much rent do you have for free if you get $500 extra a week to cover for whatever you're going to do? What modifications can you put on your car if you're into that? How many diapers can you buy for your kids if you got kids? Stuff like this, or take the missus out, whatever you're going to do. But you understand, this makes a massive difference. Point 3, now you see $26,000. The young 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, they're licking their lips. Oh my God, a few years left and I'm going to be qualified. That's what I'm doing. Whoa, 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 hold up. Welcome to the real world. I'm going to put this here. This is tax. Now, before we get into anything dodgy about just doing cash jobs and whatever, I'm going to disclaim myself. I'm not going to talk about that, because you can get paid in cash. That's totally fine. But how much you declare is totally up to you, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, look at this number here. Now, remember, you don't have to pay any tax up to $18,200. That doesn't mean you can't not declare it. Do you understand? You have to declare. You're supposed to declare it. You know what I mean? But from $18,201 to $45,000, supposed to pay the government 16 cents for every dollar. Do you understand? But if we have to crunch some numbers, you will have to pay $1,768 in income tax. That's not that much. Let's say you do just pay all that and then you're left with $24,232. That's all right, but hey, whoa. Now it's time for you to get yours, yeah? Now this is where the first 2 points come into play. Now, you own your own business. Now you got an ABN. Now you're paying tax. The government wants $1,768, but you say, whoa, I got expenses. Fuel. We'll put some numbers on the screen, yeah? We got, let's say $100 a week. We got fuel right there. Whoa, that's good. We got tires. You got to pay. You're running a business because this YouTube stuff or whatever you're doing is your brand. So you got to get the camera, you got to get the lighting. Your phone is a tax deduction. Your phone bill is a tax deduction. Registration if you use your vehicle. You see what I'm saying here? We'll crunch these numbers right here. You crunch these numbers, eventually, if you're at a big enough loss, the government will pay you. The government will reimburse you for your expenses because you're running a business. there's cost to these things. I might check the disclaimer on here now that this ain't financial advice. Always seek advice from a professional. I'm just some guy who's out there doing what you guys are really doing. I'm talking to the tradies. I'm talking to the blue collar dudes. I'm even talking to any of the dudes and chicks out there who are trying to just get a little bit of extra cash coming in and invest in skills they have and try to use that to monetize them even more. And you can do it. No one showed me how to do it, and that's why there's no plug, there's no nothing at the end. And for the most part, if you check my subs, I don't really have any, but that's why I try to be transparent, because the amount of people I speak to every day who have an ability, who have a skill, who if they just invested 12 months, man, they just invested 12 months of getting better at just that little bit of the internet side of things, where you upload videos, where you learn about the technology, this, that, the other, in terms of what's the best systems in place to do it. It will work. Like, I promise you it will work. And even if it doesn't, and you want to stay off the internet and you miss part 1 and you just do part 2 and 3, that is a game changer. The mindset shift you'll make. Because remember when I said the $500 you could earn? There are a lot of sparkies looking at this going, yeah, actually, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that makes sense. Same with chippies. Like, there's many things you guys can do too, where you can advertise and set something up. Stick to your strengths at the start of this. Where you're a gun at something, do that. You know what I mean? So anyway, this is episode 1 of the Underground series. I'm probably going to do this once a week. So all I need from you, if you've made it this far and give a shit about the video, is leave a comment about something you might want to expand on. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a guy who's giving you an opinion you might find interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong in anything, but anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, check out the other videos, and if you like what you saw, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.